Well, it is double celebration for me this weekend. First, Sport Week has attained another milestone as this is the 200th episode of the program. Plus, it is Christmas and the world is celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. So you see why I am super excited, because on two major fronts, I have reasons to be grateful to the Almighty. Welcome to the 200th edition of the Numero Uno Sports program on television. It is Sport Week this Christmas, and I am Promise Efoge. On the show, Sport Week is in its 200th edition. The TVC Sports team tells the story of the bittersweet journey on Top Story.
His last fight, and Rayfield suggested to Hopkins two possible opponents.
Highlights of Bernard Hopkins' last fight horror is on Top Action. In Gambia, wrestling has been used as a tool to stall the exodus of youths to Europe. This development is captured on Side View. The program is Sport Week.
It started slowly, gathered momentum, and now on a turbo speed. Sports Week hit its 200th edition this week, and we will now take a reminiscent look at how it all started.
Concept development and program production has always been my forte, and when I was given the responsibility to come up with a sports program that will cover Africa, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy one, but I had to wear my thinking cap and ensure that I come up with something that will not be interesting just to my viewers, but of course to those who gave me the job to do. And so I did all of these, putting my viewership into consideration, and Sport Week is the resultant.
The show, a 30 minutes weekly, encompasses all sports, strewn into segments. The focus has been sports from an African perspective, plus a global touch.
The editorial philosophy of the station, because we are a Pan-African station, it's through the African eyes. We always look out for stories that border on African countries.
Rich with a variety of content, the program segments are pre-produced. The major segments are Top Story, Top Action, Side View, Flashback, and Previews. The segment production process can be sometimes very tedious and tasking, with members of the sports team carrying out activities including data gathering, audiovisual sourcing, script writing, voicing over, and video editing.
I work with a compact team, dedicated professionals, people who know how to work under pressure. Joshua Detunji, Juliet Mafua, Toby Peters, Mayowa Ajayi. These are guys who know what to do at the bat of an eyelid. And so these are persons who have worked with me intimately in ensuring, that everything I do as far as sports production and delivery is concerned comes out top notch.
When you work with a fantastic team, the likes of Promise, Juliet, Joshua, Mayowa, and also my main cameraman, it's a fantastic team. It's not a one-man show alone. The team gives you that feeling that you can't do well, go outside there, get exclusive interview done. And also viewers out there that watch exclusive interviews on Sports Week or on TVC News, once they call in and tell you that they watch Obafemi Martins today, they watch Yakubu Yaigbe's interview that they didn't get to watch on any other TV, only on TVC News. It gives you that feeling that you want to do more.
It's challenging, yes. It's difficult, yes. But in the end, we love it because that's what we signed for and that's what we enjoy doing. I would just can't stop doing it to get people, out there informed, entertained, and brought up to speed about events happening as far as sport is concerned.
It's been challenging working with the producers. It's been challenging editing it. Then there's been a lot of pressures working with the producers of Sports Week. That brings out the best in me doing the editing. I think it's very, very challenging.
What people get to see is just the finished work, but I tell you, the processes involved can be really, really stressful. You need to come around and watch the production team when we're really getting ready for this. It takes a week to do it. Working hard to try and improve on the segment, so we kind of have, a much more difficult production in the process.
With very dedicated producers with a knack for excellence and perfection at the helm of these processes, good output is always guaranteed.
Promise has already set the standard, and we kind of just go ahead and follow it. And like I said, being involved in the production makes it quite easy. And I'm the only woman on the sports deck, so like they always say, behind every successful man is a woman, so have been behind that scene.
When you look back, haven't done your own side of the job. When you look back at the entire production, that's when you get to appreciate what kind of effort you've put into the presentation, the whole presentation process, and you just want to take a cue from what's been done and the effort every other production crew on hand have really put into making sure that the program is a success.
When you do what you love doing, getting the best out of it will be very easy for you. You get, I see this job as in covering sport as what I love doing. So doing it becomes very easy for me. Carrying out my duties become very easy because I love doing sports, basically.
With no bias for any particular sport, the show puts together a potpourri of sporting action and highlights from Nigeria and the rest of Africa. Exclusive interviews with superstars, incisive analysis, star profiles, special features and documentaries are regular on the program. The award-winning program, currently rated high on Nigerian television and other parts of Africa, has recently and in the past won awards, enjoyed nominations and commendations.
People around kind of like, sometimes get a call and say, I just watched the program, I just saw you in Sports Week now, I just saw your report on Sports Week, yeah, you guys are doing well. There's been a lot of encouragement from fans, quite a good viewership there, and we're just striving to make it better.
Inside and outside of the station, we get positive comment from our viewership, and that has been very good for us because that's part of the things that actually keep us going.
I know of people who who haven't missed any episode of Sports Week since it started some years back.
It's been 4 years down the road, a 200th episode. I'm celebrating today. It's not been easy, it's been rough and tough, but then we've been able to come up tops as a result of hard work and dedication. And of course, we've been innovative, trying to make a couple of changes time and time again and ensure that the viewers' feedback are worked on, and of course, ensuring that the program is improved at every given point in time. Perhaps I'm a perfectionist. We're not where we want to be yet, but we know certainly as time goes on, we keep changing things. Sports Week certainly will get to the apex.
A compendium of ideas, innovation, efforts and expertise, Sports Week has made steady progress in all areas, making it one of the most watched and followed sports magazine programs.
Well, producing an edition of this program is never an easy task. Getting it done weekly and consistently is a big deal, that I must tell you. Coming as far as 200 edition is worth celebrating, and if you believe you can really join me with a glass of wine. The positive feedbacks, the awards, the nominations have been very encouraging, and of course they've served as a motivator for me and my team. The program started with a little or no buzz, but today it is one of the most rated. For these, many thanks will go to God and to you, the viewers, who have always kept faith with us. Let me now invite Matthew Okugbe, who joins me on the program at this time. Matthew,
Promise.
you're coming on the show on the 200th edition.
Definitely.
You deserve a glass.
Yeah, definitely. I deserve a glass, and I firstly want to say massive congratulations to you and your entire team for this milestone achievement. Bigger things, I believe you guys would definitely take the show from the stage eaters at this point in time to much more greater heights.
Well, like I said earlier, it is double celebration.
Definitely.
It is Christmas.
Yeah.
And it is 200 edition.
Yeah. Let me also say Merry Christmas to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Time to celebrate.
Yeah.
Time to jubilate.
Yeah.
On Sports Week as well. Okay, that's it. Really foaming out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Matthew, let's get down to some sporting stories. There are insinuations that there is corruption in Nigerian football. So say the sports minister. I mean, according to him, corruption in Nigerian football is hitting the roof. And the minister recently complained of lack of transparency and accountability in the Nigeria Football Federation. I mean, he says this is the bane of the sport in Nigeria. Not forgetting the fact that in the outgoing year 2016, Nigerian football experienced a lot of decline.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But I think the sport minister on his own should try as much as possible to speak less and be much more pragmatic in his dealing as far as the responsibility that he has been saddled with is concerned. Firstly, promise, I would want us to also talk about, he made recommendations, he talked about the sport reform and also the Godwin Kenka-led committee, which happens to be the sport reform committee, after what many has described as an abysmal performance at the Brazil 2016 Olympic. We thought that recommendation, as at this point in time, should be in the National Assembly, where at least it would have passed a couple of readings, where it might at the end of the day becomes law, so as each and everyone who has been saddled with the responsibility of running Nigerian sport who have a copy that do this and you would punish in certain way. The sport minister for me is not really sounding as one who really wants to reform Nigerian sport, but just saying these things to make the headline.
Joining the program from the comfort of his home is a former board member of the Nigeria Football Federation then and the former president of the Nigeria Cycling Federation, Reverend Moses Ilo. Glad to have you on Sports Week today. Well, 2016 is wrapping up. How well would you say football fared in the country in the outgone year?
Well, they all went through 2016 based on two things. One, the determination of the sportsmen, and two, luck. They were lucky, and we had sportsmen who were devoted and determined to make a name not just for themselves but for Nigeria. I would say these are the two factors that made us have any success we had whatsoever.
Okay, I will continue by asking you, what are your thoughts about the corruption allegations against the Nigeria Football Federation, of which you were part of in time past, and other sports federation by the Nigerian Sports Minister, Solomon Dalong?
Yeah, well, sports in general for some time has been rotten. You know, I've been in sports for all my life, and I've been involved in sports in Nigeria, but what has been going on, not just 2016, for the past 4 or 5 years, it's been terrible. There's nothing to write home about. It's been confusion, it's been corruption, it's been all kinds of negative things. And I'm so angry about the way the Falcons were treated recently. Nigeria has overgrown that. When you bring corruption to a level that you have to owe our champions, our heroes, you have to humiliate them, torment them, torture them. I don't know how one can forgive this, but right now we are supposed to forgive every offense. But I think sports has degenerated to a level.
Well, the sports minister, Dalong himself, has been widely criticized for not doing enough for Nigerian sports. Do you share some view?
There has been corruption, not just in the people who administer sports. The corruption comes right from government, where they approve the budgets and all kinds of things. Now, you put the wrong people to manage sports. What do you think sports is? One thing I've discovered in Nigeria in the past 20 or 30 years is that when a party finishes election and they've won election and they've taken all what they call important ministries and they don't know what to do with somebody who may have helped them to win election, then they say, okay, give him sports. Sports is like dustbin for the government. What they don't want, they cast it there. Now look at people who are in sports. Look, we have been in sports, we've retired. So many good young men who have retired, who have been in sports active, and they've made a good name, they're transparent, they understand the sports. What do you have today? Non-entities, nincompoops, who do not know sports. They have had nothing to do with sports. You pick them up because somebody in government likes them or has an interest in them. We can't continue like this. Nigeria does not belong to the corrupt clique. Thank God for a man like Buhari, who has pathological hatred for corruption. I just wish he also can show some special interest in sports.
All right, many thanks for your time, Reverend Moses Ilo, a former board member of the Nigeria Football Federation. Well, the preliminary draws for the 2017 CAF Champions League and the Confederation Cup have been made. We have 4 Nigerian teams, 2 in the CAF Champions League and 2 in the Confederation Cup. The Nigerian contingents have been handed tough opponents, and they say that they are ready for the test. The Champions League is played by league champions across the continent, and so any team hoping to scale through the hurdles surely must be prepared to do so. Well, the big boys like Etoile du Sahel, Esperance of Tunisia, Al Ahly of Egypt, TP Mazembe of Congo DR, Zamalek of Egypt, Al Hilal of Sudan, and champions Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa have been given byes into the first round, and so winners of the preliminary round will join them there. Now, Matthew, Mike, our concern right now will be the Nigerian contingent in the CAF Champions League. Rangers playing JS Saoura of Algeria.
Yeah,
the positive thing here for Rangers is that the first leg will be away.
Away, yeah. For Rangers, I think against Saoura, I think this is a fixture they should be able to hold their own. Not to forget how they perform in the just concluded season. They are a very, very compact side. I also saw them at the Super 4, despite not winning that Champions League. Imama said his focus at this point in time is the league, and also ensure that they do well in the continent. I think they have the players that could see them through a side that like Soas.
Rivers United went to Spain to prepare for the league. I mean, that shows signs of good intention, really, to do well in the league, not just in the league, but on the continent. We saw how much they pushed Rangers to the cleaners. I mean, the league, the MPFL was concluded on the final day. That tells you Rivers United are no pushovers. Against an AS Bamako side, I personally would think I would favor Rivers.
For Rivers United, I think this is one fixture they should be able to prove that yes, all they did in the league in the 2016 MPFL season was no fluke. That they really has all it takes. They just arrived from Spain, and the guys really have garnered much experience. They still have the experienced gaffer in Stanley Eguma to tutor this side in Europe, in the continent. I think they should be able to hold their own. They have the set of players remaining, and they should be able to get past the side.
And if Rangers get to win this fixture against JS Saoura, they will be meeting Zamalek, and that will be another very stern test for them. Okay, for the Confederation Cup, we have FC Ifeanyi. For the proprietor of this club, playing on the continent was a target, and that was set and it was met. They won the Federation Cup in Nigeria. Wiki Tourists is the other Nigerian team in the CAF Confederation Cup. They'll be playing RSA LAF of Sierra Leone, and Wiki Tourists, maybe you want to think they will be able to edge that fixture. All right, many thanks, Matthew Okugbe, for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure for me.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas once again.
I wish you all the best as well. Okay, away from that now, Bernard Hopkins, one man I respect so much, undoubtedly one of the best middleweight boxers ever. But his legacies were tarnished a few days ago when he was knocked out of the ring, I must say, by a certain Joe Smith, who is 24 years younger than he is. Believe me, Hopkins will be 52 years just next month. And my question was, why would Hopkins damage his 28-year-old boxing career by going to fight a boy who is 24 years younger and old enough to be his son? Anyways, the deed has been done, and I am serving you the highlights of that knockdown on Top Action.